Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Back with my good friend, Mr. Greg Dickerson. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. So in this third episode, what I want to talk about, at least at the beginning, is kind of the importance of your network, right? There are sayings out there, your show me your five closest friends and I'll show you your future, things of that nature. But I wanted to ask you, you know, when you think back to when you were starting, when you went from working at the restaurant to starting to going, doing a side hustle and then ultimately quitting and going for it. Did your network change? How important is your network evolved over time? Is that just a cute saying that doesn't mean anything? What do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Show me your friends. I'll show you your future.
Hmm.
I'll show you your future and your friends.
Hmm.
You could go all the way, and your net worth will be the equivalent of your five closest friends. So they'll say a lot of that, or at least limited to.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me personally, yes, I've always learned from my network, the people that I hang around, and it did change over the years as I
Hmm.
evolved and I changed over the years. Now, it wasn't necessarily strategically, it wasn't necessarily intentionally, it just did. The
Yeah.
people that I associated with and I hung around, you are who you hang around, and you will become the habits that you form in your life. So if you're somebody that goes to the bar and watches the game and that's what you do every day or whatever, and you find yourself there after work, well, that's where you're going to be. I tell a
Right.
lot of people, whatever it is you're doing today, fast forward 10 years because it goes quick and it's going to be there. You're going to be doing the same thing unless you're doing something intentionally different to
Yeah.
change the outcome of where you're going to be. So yeah, it's the influences you have in your life are huge, huge.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that because for a lot of people, when you tell them that, because it's again, it's something I talk about in the course, right? You got to evolve, you got to get around more like-minded individuals. And sometimes it's even, we talk about network like it's friends. Sometimes it's family, right? If you have a family member, uh, I call them battery chargers and battery drainers. I don't have a better analogy just yet. But if you have a friend that, like a family member that you talk to and you're trying to get excited about real estate or investing or entrepreneurship or your side hustle, and all they want to do is talk negative and don't give it, you're going to risk everything. And it's just hard to stay as motivated having to deal with that kind of every day. Right. So uh, how
Yeah,
do,
it's hard for people to climb out of those influences. And, the thing
yeah,
that you have to remember of what we're talking about is, all you know is what you know. You
yeah,
don't know what you don't know. And the worst possible place to be in life is to think you're absolutely right when you're not. And the difference is like, your book, information, courses, YouTube, things like that. All it takes for most people is one idea, one strategy, one technique, one system, one conversation, one book that you just didn't know about that's
mhm,
out there that somebody else knows and passes on to you that can change the entire trajectory of your life. And you can't get that if you're just doing the same things with the same people all the time. And now that doesn't mean you got to cut everybody off out of your life. You can have friends that are less successful than you that aren't doing the same things, and that's your friends and
mm,
your family and all that. What we're talking about is your professional associations. You have
yes,
to up the level of your professional associations and who you listen to, who you hang around, and who you model behaviorally and who you allow to influence you. And that's not just in that. I'm talking about everything you watch, everything you read, everything you see. Um, you will become the influences. Input equals output, right?
oh
So
yes,
you have to put in the right things in order to get out the results that you're looking for. And the biggest thing for a lot of people that they don't really realize or think about is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. A lot of people are like, hey, I want to be the smartest person in the room. Or
yeah,
when the subject of money comes up, I want to be the smartest person. You're in the wrong rooms if you are. You need to be
right,
around people that know things and have done things that you just couldn't even comprehend. And then that's what it really all boils down to at the end of the day. Those associations that are holding you back and keeping you down that you're buying into, if you're in that situation, it's just limiting beliefs. It's just people just don't know what they don't know. So their belief system is limited. And that's not like, power positive thinking, hocus pocus. Limiting belief is anything that you tell yourself that stops you from doing something. I could never do that. Or, that's not going to work. Well, there's other people doing that and there's other people making that work. So whatever those things are that you want to do or think you can't do, I guarantee you there's people out there that are doing that and then some, been there, done that. Ain't nothing new under the sun
hmm,
in this world, and there never will be. So that's what you want to do. Seek out those influences, those mentors, those systems that are where you want to be and beyond. And that's who you need to surround yourself with, whether you hire them to work for you, hire them to coach you and mentor you, bring them into your organization, do deals with them, whatever it is, you got to get around those people and those influences.
Yeah. One of the surprises of the last year and a half or so for me is I have a course, obviously, that was basically how I did the one rental at a time thing, but I created a private Facebook group for people in the course, and it's almost 1,000 people now, right? It's pretty fun to watch. As we kind of crossed 500, you could see it taking on a life of itself, people networking, asking questions. And I call it the happiest place on the internet, because I really govern what goes on there. And to see people interact, answer questions, and have other experts answer questions, it's a great place to network and get around other like-minded people who are speaking the same vocabulary and driving for the same things, right? So you got everybody like all the wood behind the arrow, or if you will. But yeah, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. And that's why you do what you do. That's why I do what I do, and what I've done my entire career, and, mentoring people in all the businesses that I've owned and I'm involved with, and the deals that I've done and I've been involved with. And that's how I learned. So nobody wakes up and all of a sudden you know how to do real estate. You got to learn it one way or the other. Yeah. So you got to educate yourself, and you learn by reading, studying, your market, the materials, the language, the laws, all that. And then you learn by doing. And I learned by doing for others that were way above my level. I mean, when I first started out swinging a hammer, I didn't go to college. I'd never done any investing. I just started a little business because I knew how to do things that were valuable to others. I was solving problems. You needed a screen door put on, I'd go put it on, a storm door for $100, right?
Yeah.
So I'm working for these guys. One of them was like the number 3 at Citibank. Wow. I mean, the dude had a wine cellar on his balance sheet that was worth $10 million. He raced Ferraris on the weekends.
Wow.
That's here fun. I am, some, dumb little kid that got out of the military and started this little construction company. And I'm like, how do I do what you're doing? How do I buy $1 million house, add on to it and sell it for 2 million? I didn't know how to do that. So working for people like that as the contractor, he said, well, let's do some deals and we'll see how you do. And then maybe we'll bring you in on one. Oh. So, I mean, that's kind of how it works. Yeah. So I showed up, I worked hard, I learned. You added
value, right?
Yeah. And I didn't ask for, hey, what's my cut? What I said was, I'll do it for free. I don't care. Teach me.
Yeah. I want to learn. I want the experience. Exactly. Yeah. That is so cool. Yeah. Again, you put yourself in a path of success is what you did.
Well, and I asked the question, I'm like, well, so wait a minute, you're the number 3 guy at Citibank. So you have this entire world of financial opportunities,
right?
But you're buying these houses and flipping them. Why are you doing that?
There's something there.
Right.
There's a signal, folks.
Exactly. So it wasn't just, I want to be you. It was like, well, wait a minute. Why are you doing that?
Why is he doing? So, yeah. That's interesting.
Sometimes you just have to ask good questions, and you have to ask different questions, So if you see people doing something, well, why are you doing that? Yeah. And that's where you really start to uncover. And at the end of the day, all of this, what it boils down to, what we're talking about is it's having the right information at the right time, applied to the right vehicle in the right way, and then continue, disciplined action every single day towards that goal. And, that's what a lot of people miss out on by hanging around their friends and just complaining about everything, or just wasting, their life away. Hey, I work hard all day, so I deserve to sit around and watch TV all night. That's not moving the ball forward in your life.
Yeah, this is so much fun. So folks, if you want to be a part of a network where you're talking entrepreneurship, starting business, side hustles, all of that, that is not me. That is Mr. Greg Dickerson. So how can they find you and be part of your world?
Yeah, gregdickerson.com. I talk about all that stuff: entrepreneurship, leadership, mindset, real estate, equity, capital, markets, cryptos, all kinds of stuff.
Very cool. Well, Greg, thank you very much for this. It's always been fun conversations. Take care.
Yeah, great to see you.